Hey guys, Professor Perazzo here with another installment of Driving It Home with the Professor. We'll call this Nonna's Chicken Cutlets and the watering down of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu belts. Why Nonna's Chicken Cutlets? Well, it's where I'm driving to right now to pick up my son's favorite chicken cutlets from his grandmother's house, and it's a beautiful thing when you have people around you that love you and do things for your kids. So hopefully, if you have kids, you have grandmothers, or they have grandmothers that love them to death. Anyway, let's talk about the belts in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And I got a voicemail from my buddy Tommy Woodruff, Master T, out at Core Martial Arts in suburban Chicago. Forgive me for forgetting the exact town he's in. But he left me a message asking me what my feelings were and if I could answer it. And it's a great opportunity to answer it on video for everyone to see what my thoughts are on video not see what my thoughts are, but to hear what my thoughts are about the current state of what some people believe to be as the watering down of the art. And it's terrible that there are people out there that are claiming that they can make you a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or even worse yet, they're making unfounded claims of being able to make you a black belt in Gracie Jiu-Jitsu when they don't have the lineage or the expertise to do so, and saying they could do it within 2, 3, 4 years. All the things that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu used to make fun of the traditional martial arts where you could get a black belt in 2 years. Now it seems that there are some schools that are kind of going against what the foundation of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or Gracie Jiu-Jitsu is that, man, the respect of the rank and how hard it is to receive rank. And I've, as a school owner and instructor, I've actually changed my views on certain things, because before I used to be, you're a white belt, I don't do any stripes, and then you're a white belt till you become a blue belt, and no stripes on the blue, and you're a blue till you become a purple, and I don't need to go through the rest of the progression with you, but you guys get the idea. Anyway, I had an epiphany, and talking to other successful school owners, and when I say successful, I just don't mean guys that are making a lot of money. I mean guys that are producing very good students, tough schools, good fighters, good grapplers, and sitting down and talking to them because they implemented a system of belts before blue. And one of the things that I've learned over the years is that facts don't change, but opinions can. And my opinion used to be that belts before blue were bullshit and that I would never do them. But I received new information, right? And if you ever talk to Master Chim, my good friend Justin Garcia, these are, I'm basically repeating his words, but they're very good, so I'm gonna use them. Facts are immutable. Facts don't change. Opinions do. And I got this new information, and I changed my opinion on belts before blue. And we have white belts, 5 belts before you can become a blue belt at my school. So the typical length of time, the shortest amount of time it could take anybody to get a blue belt at my school is 18 months. The longest, if they do everything that they're supposed to do, come to all their kind of required classes and monthly testing and all that other stuff. And we do testing at my school. All the monthly testing, it could take them, if I had my math's correct, like a little bit over 2 years. So 18 months to over 2 years. So, a good mark that that if you're training with a blue belt at my school, he's got about 1.5 years to 2 years experience. So to me, I didn't, that's not selling out. That's giving people a very good, clear, concrete, near-term goal. Because if I expect that someone will wait 18 months to 2 years for their first belt, man, I'm going to have to become a way better instructor than I am. And I always try to become a better instructor, but I didn't think I was that good And what I've noticed is that having these belts before blue, it's helped me keep a lot of students motivated and keeping them coming to class, and really also, since the material that we test on really comes from our fundamentals class and from our self-defense, what we're seeing is that our students' fundamentals and their basics and their self-defense is better than it's ever been. Here you go. Thank you. Take care. The awkward pause was me paying a toll. Anyway, so their fundamentals are better. The classes are much more structured, especially since we've implemented this system. So, and I really don't think Tommy was talking about that. I think Tommy was talking about people getting the purple belt in a year and a half, getting the brown belt in 2.5, and then the black belt in 4. That's what I'm really going to assume that he was talking about. I'll tell you right now, that is fucking bullshit. You know, there's very few people in the world that should and deserve to receive a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in under 5 years. Shaolin was one of them. BJ Penn was another. I know Mike Fowler got his in an impressive amount of time. Can't deny Mike's acumen and ability to express his jiu-jitsu and defend his black belt. You know, and it fails me. And who else could have gotten in a short amount of time? But there's very few people that should be getting their black belt in under, 5 years. You know, like, you have to be a phenomenon, right? And in my eyes, the only reason you should be getting your black belt in under 5 years, you went to the Worlds and Pan Ams, you won blue belt 1 year, then next year you got promoted to purple, you won purple belt the following, and after that you won brown belt, and then that's how you got your black belt. And I look at promotions when we start getting the blue, purple, brown. I kind of track my students in 2 different areas. I track them regular guy, right, who doesn't compete, and then I track them competitor, right? So my competitors get promoted based upon what? Well, competition success, you know, and that's where the strength of their promotions are going to come from. My regular students that don't compete or compete infrequently, well, then their metric that I use, or part of the metric that I use for them, is skill set, how often they come to class, how well they can express their jiu-jitsu, how well they know the techniques, how well-rounded they are, so forth and so on. So, you know, competition is a big part of how they get promoted. Not the only part, but a big part. Regular students, you know, in class, how often they're coming, ability to express their jiu-jitsu, ability to live train, all that. But belt factories, people that are willing to sell belts, people that are willing, and people who know better to accept belts when they know they shouldn't be that belt, man, it's a shame, and it's a sad state for those that are selling the belt, and I think it's an even sadder state for those that are, number one, unwittingly buying a belt, or even worse, knowingly buying a belt. I don't associate myself with any team or any instructors that do that. You know, my instructors, Phil and Rick Miglerese, hold a high standard for promotions, and it took me 14 plus years to get my black belt. And you know, I was super excited when I got it. The journey was amazing, and the journey continues. But you know, probably going to take a lot of you guys a lot less times, because I was terrible all the way along the way and all that stuff. But man, belt factories is fucking bullshit. Pardon my language, if there's any kids listening. And if you're training with an instructor that's charging you for a belt, man, I'm just, you know, charging you, saying, oh, give me $500 and I'll promote you to purple. Man, I don't know about all that. Now, if there's a standard fee for a promotion, then that's a different story. But if he's coming up to you trying to sell you a belt, that's different. So those are some of my thoughts. I really, you know, like, be mindful of any instructors or any coaches that are willing to give belts, to keep students, or willing to sell belts to make money. It's not what it's about. It's about earning the belt. It's also about defending the belt. My friend, he's a black belt from Ricardo Almeida, Steve Kim, once told me, he goes, you know, everybody deserves the belt that they receive. Then it's up to them to defend it. So I'm not quite sure if it fits with those guys that are buying and selling belts, but I will say this, man, guy's a black belt and he bought it, he'll never be able to defend it. And we know how real jiu-jitsu is. So here's my personal thoughts on people being loose with their belts, in the sense of selling promotions or giving promotions to keep students happy. I mean, that's cowardly and weak on both ends. It was a great question from Tommy. I really appreciated it because he gave me something really good to talk about. Tommy Woodruff, Core Martial Arts out there in suburban Chicago. He's got some pretty cool custom gear that he made. You should check out his videos. Anyway, you know where I'm at on Facebook, Marco Perazzo, Twitter, Team NJMA, and online at NJMA Online. This was a longer one, guys, 11 minutes, but hope you enjoyed it. Take care. Have a good night. Going to get those chicken cutlets.